Now, the government is thinking of instituting another tax on gas, this time on the gas produced by farm animals. The American Farm Bureau Federation says that even modest farms may be taxed between $30,000 and $40,000 a year in fees for air-polluting livestock, but farmers say the plan would absolutely bankrupt them. Joining us right now is Tim Young, the owner of Nature's Harmony Farm, and Bruce Friedrich, spokesman for PETA, the People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals. All right, Bruce, let's start with you. Why is this a good idea to tax animals that produce gas? Because we go back, the EPA taxes anything that does cause pollution. So why should they tax the farmer?
Well, the United Nations released a scientific report, more than 400 pages, called Livestock's Long Shadow. And what they determined is that the meat industry, whatever environmental issue you're looking at, from water pollution to water depletion to loss of biodiversity to global warming, the meat industry is one of the top 3 causes. On global warming, the meat industry is the #1 cause. And it's not just the emissions from the animals. It's also the nitrous oxide from fertilizer decomposition. It's all of the extra stages of production involved in raising animals for food. It takes about 4 extra stages of gas guzzling pollution spewing vehicles.
Bruce, you want to punish the farmers for producing animals?
Well, we have socialized factory farming of animals right now. According to the Union of Concerned Scientists, factory farmers right now get tens of billions of dollars in subsidies every year. Right. So this would just be the farmers giving a little bit of that money back.
All right, here's what the tax would break down. It could be $20 per pig, $87.50 for a cow, or $175 for a dairy cow. Tim, that's going to drive you out of business, isn't it?
Well, I mean, look, it's just a bad idea. I mean, one point that Bruce made that I do agree with, which is factory farms. I mean, I don't think any of us are advocates of the huge, large feedlots that exist, but we're talking about small farmers here. And in our case, we have about 50 to 60 beef cows. That's going to result in a tax next year for us of $5,000 to $8,000 that we'll have to pass on to our customers if we can, and if we can't, we're out of business.
Well, do you think, Tim, there is a possibility that the government's going to come up with this crazy taxing gassy cows business?
Yeah, you never know what the government's going to do, but my question is, why are we trying to do this? If you take, Bruce just made a good point a second ago about what's happening in the environment as a result of some of the farming. If you look at the roughly 16 million acres that we have in this country that we devote to producing grain to feed cattle in feedlot operations, a lot of the climate scientists suggest that if we were to convert that to well-managed pasture, you could reduce the carbon from the atmosphere to the equivalent of about taking 4 million cars off the road. That's where we should be focusing, on the large feedlot operations, not on small pasture-based sustainable farmers.
And Bruce, I'll give you the final word.
Well, factory farmers should have to give some money back, but the take-home message for consumers is the #1 thing that you can do to reduce your global warming footprint is to adopt a vegetarian diet. And we have details about that on our website, which is just PETA.org.
Well, that's not going to happen at my house. All right, Tim Young and Bruce Friedrich, we thank you both for joining us on this Monday morning. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks, Dave.
You bet. All right.